What is up, Internet? My name is Thomas, and today we're going to talk about cryotherapy for runners. I've actually been in a lot of runners in here as of late, probably because of the Spartan Seattle race, actually I even had some guys in here recently who they ended up getting cryotherapy sessions before the race, and they actually ended up winning the race. They came in first and second place. So coincidence, maybe? I'd like to think otherwise. And real quick, shout out to PNW ladies. They're going to have an entire group coming in June 10th. I'm not sure if that's before or after the race, but either or, that's awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Cryotherapy is, I would say, huge for runners. You guys already know, basically when you're running or biking, doing one of these strenuous long distance activities, your body will go past the point of using your fat for energy to the point of actually using your muscle. So you will really be damaging yourself over the course of something like this, which is why I wanted to make this video and see if I can answer anyone's questions at the same time. Unlike a lot of other things, there's only really two things that I think are a big deal for runners, and those two things are going to be recovery and energy. Basically, for recovery, it's going to be, we're going to go into the standard thing real fast. Basically, when you run, when you do any kind of exercise, inflammation happens, and too much inflammation is a bad thing. I have a whole video on inflammation if you'd like to watch it, but basically it's the reason things become swollen, it's the reason pain will happen, and with time, if it's excess, which in some cases, like in the case of a very long distance run, it very much can be, and when it is excessive, means your body's going to basically start attacking itself. And kind of, or maybe even just too much excess inflammation could hurt you in the way of burst veins, just because there's too much fluid there, and prolong the healing period even more. So basically, cryotherapy helps with recovery by vasoconstriction. Basically, it pulls all of your blood from your extremities to your core, and in the process, it pulls any kind of chemical, any bit of inflammation, swelling away from wherever the area is. I'm showing my hand, but really it would be in your legs. But I mean, the hand's the only thing you can really see, so sorry. But it pulls all the inflammation away to your core while you're in the chamber. Basically, it does this to protect your core, your internal organs, because if they were to drop even a single degree, it could potentially be dangerous. That's why frostbite happens. Your body's willing to sacrifice the extremities long before the body itself. After vasoconstriction happens, while you're in here, the next thing is your body enters a hyperproductive period. Basically, it's extremely cold in there. It's negative 300 degrees. Like I said a second ago, if your body happens to drop even a single temperature degree, it could be dangerous for you. So your body enters a hyperproductive period. Basically, it starts breaking down tons of fat, starts creating more mitochondria, releasing hormones like norepinephrine, and so on and so forth. Just a whole plethora of things. The body's a very interconnected system. It's there's a lot going on, so I'm going to kind of graze over. Anyway, when you actually step out of the chamber, vasodilation happens, which is the opposite of vasoconstriction. So rather than the restricting of veins, the veins widen more than usually, allowing the blood to quickly flow through back to where it needs to. The advantage of this is that this blood is highly oxygenated. It's full of hormones, it's full of nutrients, it's got basically everything you really want to be in your blood at the time. Your body's working at near 100% during this period, because like I said, you enter a hyperproductive period. So all the blood getting back out where it needs to be, not only are you flushing out everything that's painful, everything that could be causing additional damage, but you're also replacing it with nutrients, fresh, highly oxygenated blood, allowing your body to start, getting into the healing process ASAP. So, boom, that's number one. It's going to be recovery. Number two is going to be energy. So I mentioned a second ago that your body actually creates more mitochondria while you're in this cryo chamber. In as few as 10 cryotherapy sessions, you can see an increase of up to 38% more mitochondria. This is because, basically, it's a natural adaptation of the body. Just like your body naturally pulls the blood from your extremities to your core to protect your internal organs, your body naturally makes more brown fat over the course of cold exposure. People in further north places, continents, whatever, countries, states, have higher amounts of brown fat, especially those who work outside. Basically, brown fat is just mitochondria-dense fat, and mitochondria is dense in iron, giving it a brown color. And mitochondria, known as the powerhouse of the cell, is responsible for digesting and breaking down fat cells. So when you get more brown fat, you have more readily available energy that can be quickly burned and turned into something useful. In the case of fight or flight situations, in the case of a sport or something like that, it's very competitive and you need rapid energy. Or in the case of cold therapy. So that's actually part of why with continual cryotherapy sessions, you actually stop shivering. The first 1 or 2 times you do cryotherapy, you probably shiver like crazy, but after that, your body will move from that to a strictly metabolic strategy, I guess would be the word. Basically because shivering is inefficient. Basically, every time you shiver, it's a muscle contraction which causes heat, but it uses way more calories up. It's just way not as effective. So your body does this natural transfer to brown fat. So within 10 sessions, as many as 20 sessions, you can increase your mitochondria by as much as 38%. So there you go, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's the main 2 ways that cryotherapy helps runners. Obviously there are other benefits, but specific to you guys would be those 2. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.